Are you hungry for great food? Come taste the fresh, mouth-watering dishes prepared by world-class chefs. Legends of Notre Dame, located just 100 yards south of the stadium on the Notre Dame campus. Legends of Notre Dame. Taste the tradition.
Raging high-rise fire happening overnight. Flames tear through one of the world's tallest buildings.
You're probably more safe using that gas station.
Catching a crook. Police share advice on protecting your money after using a hidden camera to identify a man planting a skimmer.
It sound like freaking a bunch of M80s tied together going off right up underneath my window.
And a deadly shooting spanning a big scene. What police are now saying about a crime that left 2 people dead and 2 others fighting for their lives.
First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 First in the Morning with Bob Montgomery and Leanne Tokars.
A loud night across Michiana. Showers and storms moving through several areas, including right outside our WSBT 22 studios in Mishawaka. This morning, a much different picture. You can see on our storm tracker radar that those storms have moved on out of here, but it left behind much cooler temperatures. Let's check in now with meteorologist Ed Russo, who's in for Carrie this morning. And Ed, a fall-like Friday out there.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're still looking at a pretty cloudy picture, too, on our South Bend First Alert weather cam. And moisture on the lens here. It's not as foggy as it appears, but certainly the cooler air is the big story today. Storm tracker radar is dry. Seeing a little shower pop up in southern LaGrange County. So the chances for showers this morning very isolated. Better chance this afternoon once this wraparound rain starts to drop southeast and bringing the threat for some isolated showers late this afternoon and into the evening. Even out towards Chicago as well. I know some of you headed towards Lollapalooza this afternoon. So we are looking at a couple instances where we could see some wet conditions develop. Temperatures will be cool too. We're in the 50s right now. We're probably going to climb another 5-6 degrees for the afternoon high. That's it. Beginning of August. That's more like mid to late September. West-southwest winds 10 to 15. The winds will be picking up a little bit as well. So here's your planner. We're not moving much temperature-wise throughout the day. Best chance for rain late afternoon and into the evening. Leanne? All
right, Ed, thank you. Happening right now, fire officials in Dubai are trying to figure out what sparked this massive high-rise fire. It happened inside one of the world's tallest buildings, the 84-story Torch Tower. 30 to 40 apartments were burned along with a few cars inside a parking garage. There are no reports of injuries. 6:32 now, and a busy time for Metro homicide investigators. Right now they're investigating 2 separate killings. This is an update to breaking news we first brought you yesterday here on WSBT 22 First in the Morning. Police say 25-year-old Anton James Jr. and 29-year-old Damon Bethel are dead after a shooting near Frederickson and Huey Streets. At last check, 2 other victims were in critical condition. Bethel was found dead on Frederickson. James was found in a vehicle that crashed near Johnson Street. Police say both men were shot. And Metro Homicide also investigating a death on Riverside Court in South Bend. This morning, officers have made an arrest. 32-year-old Kennedy Kafatia was taken to jail for battery to an endangered adult, resulting in death. When police arrived at the Metcalf Group home, they found 48-year-old Roy Martinez bleeding. Police say they attempted CPR, but he was pronounced dead at the hospital. The Metcalf Group home is owned by Oaklawn. A representative there says it's a transitional residence for mentally ill patients. These 2 investigations pushing St. Joseph County closer to matching the total number of homicides from all of last year. According to Lincoln Wright with our reporting partners at the South Bend Tribune, there have been 15 homicides in the first 8 months of the year. Many of those deaths the result of gun violence. Now in 2016, there was a total of 19 homicides. In just a few hours, day 3 set to begin in the trial against Mark Soto. He's accused of intimidation and corrupt business influence. Soto indicted alongside former Sheriff Aaron Rovenstein and Kevin Bronson. WSBT 22's Suzanne Spencer is here now with a preview of what's expected in court.
The prosecution has anxiously been awaiting their star witness, Kevin Bronson himself, who will take the stand first thing this morning. He and Mark Soto are accused of intimidating people here in Kosciuszko County, all in an effort to make a movie that never happened. LA attorney David Baker was one of the victims who took the stand yesterday. He testified through tears the fear he lived for nearly 4.5 years if he didn't provide legal services toward the movie. Bronson argued this movie had to be created to oust himself from the Aryan Brotherhood. The state's attorneys argued that Soto facilitated several meetings. They also argued that Soto's credibility got these victims to believe in Bronson's story. The defense coming in and questioning that, saying it's possible Soto too was acting in fear. Soto's attorney also arguing that no victim was ever physically harmed by those men. Lots of discussions, though, about a 2011 will for Kevin Bronson. In it was the former sheriff Aaron Rovenstein, current sheriff Rocky Goshard, former defense attorney and current Kosciuszko County judge Tori Bauer, and the Kosciuszko County Republican Party. The will creator said that she knew Bronson didn't have any money, but said the will was, quote, playing with monopoly money. We'll have much more coming up on WSBT 22 News at midday. In Warsaw, Suzanne Spencer, WSBT 22 News.
All right, Suzanne, thank you. Happening right now, a criminal grand jury looking into whether Russia meddled in the 2016 presidential election and whether anyone from the Trump campaign was involved. The grand jury has the ability to subpoena records and witnesses. According to Reuters, the panel has already issued subpoenas in connection with the meeting between Donald Trump Jr. and a Russian lawyer. The jury, called by special counsel Robert Mueller. President Trump has previously expressed concerns that Mueller is not neutral. A bipartisan group of senators has since introduced a bill that would make it tougher for the president to fire Mueller. You're looking live at U.S. stock futures this morning, and things looking up after a record-setting day on the market. But will we continue to see this growth? One local expert says it's hard to predict. He says people are realizing that there's opportunity in the stock market and they're hoping for more success. President Trump is taking credit for the recent growth. Experts say the president's campaign promises are partly what's attracting those investments.
Policies that are favorable toward business growth being implemented, or are they not? And that's a big question facing the current administration. Are they able to deliver, or are they only able to have promised them during the campaign? Time will tell.
Economic experts say markets likely will not stay this high forever because what goes up must come down. All right, take a look at this. Officials in Ohio catching a skimmer on a hidden camera. It's been nearly 2 weeks since a skimming device was put on the pump. Investigators say they thought a hacker would come back, and he did. And now officials are sharing advice to help you avoid falling victim to skimmers. They recommend not stopping at older gas stations near highways. And experts say you should never use your debit card at a gas station. If a skimming device is attached to the machine, not only will crooks get your card number, but also your PIN. They recommend credit cards are the best option is cash. All right, take a look at your screen. Terrifying moments for drivers in Texas as a plane makes an emergency landing near a busy roadway. 2 people on the plane were hurt. Look at that there. No word this morning on what caused that plane to go down. This is the second plane crash in this area in less than 3 weeks. All new this morning, one of the survivors of this Minnesota school explosion now speaking exclusively to CBS News about the blast. Kristen Overton is a guidance counselor at the school. She was in a meeting when the explosion happened.
It was just striking to me, the devastation and how quickly and how violently it happened. You know, I felt the blast, and it was incredibly frightening and traumatic. And then to see the amount of damage that was caused in that split second of that explosion, you can't even wrap your mind around it.
2 people were killed in the blast. Both were staff members at the school. It is now 6:37 and you are looking live in Goshen. Students there heading back to school today as they prepare to enter the classroom. Another Indiana school district is delaying the return of its students.
There was a lot of confusion. We had folks that were not accustomed to our children and families, and as a result, we've had to kind of regroup here.
Muncie Community Schools closed again today because of problems with the bus system. Officials say 20% of drivers quit just days before the school year was set to begin earlier this week. Busing, though, not the only issue. The district is also struggling with financial issues. School officials expect the district to run out of money in September. Well, many of you have already seen your children's I-STEP scores, but now schools will be seeing them earlier this year. Earlier results will help schools and teachers better prepare student instruction and teacher evaluations. The state education department plans on giving results to schools on August 16th. School districts didn't get the spring results until September and October last year. It's something your kids do every day, but strapping on the backpack before heading to school could be putting them at risk. Doctors say your kid's backpack should weigh between 10 and 15% of their body weight. Any more weight and the bag could injure your child's spine. Experts also recommend your kids use both straps when wearing their backpack. And our Back to School Week coverage continues in less than 10 minutes right here on WSBT 22 First in the Morning. Our Caroline Torrey will join us with advice on managing your children's time on phones, tablets, and other devices. And if you're sending your kids to the bus stop, snap a picture and send it to us at morning@WSBT.com. All right, teachers, listen to this. Happening right now, your chance to win free transportation for a class field trip. To enter, first you have to grab a free trip on the South Shore Line next week. Then write an essay about what you did the day you took the train. All essays must be submitted by August 21st. Teachers can ride free next week on off-peak weekday and weekend trains. It is now 6:40 here on WSBT 22 First in the Morning, finding motivation. Next, how one man is using Netflix to try and get more people to exercise. And still ahead on CBS This Morning, building a better ball. How small changes to the baseball are impacting home runs in the MLB.
And we've got a taste of fall as we start the weekend. Just look at the sky on our St. Joe First Alert weather cam. Your full forecast next.